Be mature by choosing a mature vegetable. Full stop. Like, you know, when scriptures talk about you will know them by their fruit. I promise you, your fruit is smelly. Now, one would say, what is the difference, Deborah, between normal broccoli and Tenderstem broccoli? One, with that question already being posed, it tells me the type of person you are. I'm doing me so much that it gives people permission to be themselves. Okay, welcome back to another episode of Conteh'S Corner. Super exciting. We are here with episode 4 of season 2. That's actually really mad. I am trying my very level best to be consistent, which is interesting. I wouldn't say it's hard, but I would say it's been interesting for me. But for those that are new, welcome to the coolest corner of the world. Before I continue, let's sing our song together, okay? Everybody, 1, 2, go. It is Conteh'S Corner. I say it's Conteh'S Corner. Conteh'S Corner. Yeah, if you are new here, welcome to Conteh'S Corner. This is where the cool kids reside. This is the coolest corner of the whole world. Yeah, your world and mine, okay? I am DC. I am your host of this amazing show. And what we do here, well, we're just cool kids trying to have a cool time. That's it. Yeah, if you're a cool kid, make sure you subscribe. Did you notice that I rhymed? So that you will be here on time. Next time I drop some dimes. Yeah. Welcome back to the coolest corner of the world. Honestly speaking, today's episode is going to be a really fun one and a short one, but that's okay. Super short episode, but I thought the whole point of consistency is to show up, and I'm trying my very level best to show up for myself and just make sure that I'm not behind on schedule. I made a declaration, a promise to myself that I will release a certain number of episodes by a certain time, and I am on track. Okay. Now, if you are new here, the first section of our show is called Confession of the Week. Confession of the week. Okay? And today's confession, in comparison to other confessions, first of all, genuinely speaking, this one is very lighthearted. Okay? Some of you have been feeling as though my confessions shouldn't be confessed. Okay, the whole point of a confession is to confess something that shouldn't really. Some people really, obviously, please, if there are opinions that should never, hey, we're all just kidding around here, okay? A lot of these opinions are just jokes, okay? We're allowed to have a laugh. So, my confession of the week is very simple. Tenderstem broccoli is for the mature babes. Tenderstem broccoli will supersede any other broccoli. And shout out to Reefa for this, because I literally just saw his episode on his page, For You page, about Tenderstem Brocolli. He said that's tenderism. I hear it. Tenderstem broccoli is the true sentiment of tenderism. Okay? If you've decided to choose this particular vegetable, you have elevated from childish behavior to a mature taste bud. Now, one would say, what is the difference, Deborah, between normal broccoli and Tenderstem broccoli? One, with that question already being posed, it tells me the type of person you are. It tells me you lack style, you lack class. You want cheap stuff now. Is there normal broccoli in my fridge right now? Of course. Am I a hypocrite right now? Of course. It's not every day that I'm going to be buying broccoli for how much? How expensive? Of course. Sometimes you just need, you need your 5 a day, your vegetables, everything like that. But Tenderstem broccoli, ooh, little pan fry, little butter, little bit of why? Tenderstem is true tenderism, okay? And I strongly employ everybody that is part of the Cool Kids Corner, okay? Conteh'S Corner people, stand up and buy Tenderstem broccoli today, okay? I love it down, okay? That's my confession. My confession is, honestly speaking, get more mature taste buds and buy Tenderstem broccoli today. Okay? Be mature by choosing a mature vegetable. Full stop. Okay. Anyway, for those that are new, usually on our show, we slowly segment to a wonderful part called Conteh'S content. And this is the main part of the show where we basically talk about something that's very, very important, something that's a bit more serious, but also like balanced with a bit of jokes. Ha 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 ha, laughing. If you have any confessions, actually, I wanted to do this now. If you have any confessions that you'd like to share, please feel free to either DM. Oh, guys, I might DM now. Please feel free to DM or email at conteh'scorner at gmail.com. I think that's the email. If it's not, it's down in the description box below. For those that are listening, it is down in the description box below. So, the main part of today, I really sat with myself and I feel like these past couple months have really been amazing. Like 2026 has really started great for me. And yes, there's been a lot of ups and downs, I'll be honest, but overall, as a bigger picture, it has really been a good start to the year. And I strongly believe that's because I asked myself, how delusional have I been this year? And like delusional in a sense, like how has delusion helped me navigate and slowly become the woman that I have always wanted to become, which is somebody who is unapologetically themselves in a way that inspires others to be an inspiration in their own vein. Yeah. Which sounds like a very big way of saying I'm doing me so much that it gives people permission to be themselves. And that is something that I heard years ago. I don't know what preaching it was or one talk, but I remember hearing a pastor saying, you need to come to a point where you are so unapologetically yourself that whoever sees you feels like, not even feels like, but they now know I need to be myself so somebody else can like be themselves as well. And if everybody bees themselves in whatever respect that looks like, and when I'm speaking from it, I'm obviously speaking from my perspective being a Christian. When I say being myself, I mean showing the love of God through my personality, showing the love of God through my works, through excellence, through diligence, through being skilled at my craft, like really honing in and showing a standard of excellency, a kingdom standard, and just being just real and human with it as well. Like that is what allow someone else to fully fall into the purpose of Christ or purpose that God has given them. That's just my opinion. That's just my opinion. Yeah. And anyway, like I said, so I had to ask myself like how delusion has actually helped me over the last couple months. And how delusion can help you really. And when I say delusion, so there was delusion literally just means like how crazy, how bold, how delulu have I been? And how has it helped? And will it help you for those that are in a position of, I wouldn't even say fear. I think just navigating what makes sense for you. What should I do next? How do I become, how do I shift things? How do I get a little spark back again? How do I get my spark back again? And I feel like I've slowly got my spark back again. I think that's a Stormzy song with Debbie. But regardless, yeah, I'm gonna use my book. You guys already know because great. I don't have a producer yet. I'm the producer, editor, and talk show host. When I have my team, there will be no book. Okay. But the question today is how delusion has helped me. And the first thing I thought about was this concept that me and my best friend, shout out Sean, but me and my best friend talk about, which is the Lulu Week. And it's something that we both did early on into our friendship, which was having a week full of choices that the normal version, like the version of yourself would never pick, but the version of who you want to become would always choose. Really bold and outlandish choices that are very scary, choices that are anxiety inducing, choices that force you to be slightly uncomfortable, but the result is so great. And we did that for a whole week. And when I say a whole week, I mean it was like we emailed people that we wanted to work with, we DM'd people we wanted to work with, we shot our shot at people we wanted to work with, and we did this several times across months of work. So it went from Delulu Day to Delulu Week to a whole month to this quarter. We are being absolutely delusional in everything we do. And I think what's really amazing about the men in my life, particularly, shout out Ayo, shout out Sean, shout out Gabe, shout out Marin, shout out Victor, shout out all you men out, like, they are really on this vibe of, Debs, you can't keep complaining about where you are currently at if you're not doing anything to shift it. You can't. Yeah? Guys, when I told you in season 1, having male friends, yeah, you have to have alligator skin. I wasn't joking. Because in their minds, they're like, for someone that actually wants to change where they're currently at, especially with the amount of choice we have, this is definitely context dependent. This is obviously from a place of us having the basic necessities. So me having a 9 to 5, me having a house over roof over my head, me having a home, me having friends, me like having like social needs completed. That is fine. Okay. With me having a lot of choice, okay, and the privilege of choice, why am I not choosing to tap into that? Like, you say, for example, with me, I've always said I want to host the Brits. That would be sick. Like, if I can host the Brits, cold. But you've always said you wanted to be this presenter, Deborah. Like, you've always said you wanted to speak, you've always said you wanted to do this, you wanted to do that. Obviously that's one of my goals, and I've been a bit more vivid about that. But at the time in which we started this Delulu Week, I promise you, the first thing they were looking at me, they were like, so what have you got to show for it? What have you got to show for it? You know? And that has how delusion has actually helped me, because in the consistent time of choosing to DM people and be like, hey, I'm a presenter, even though I don't have work, but I'm a presenter, I'd love to host your thing for free, or I do this, I'm love to host your thing for free. From August 2025, there was just scat. It was like everybody and their nan was booking me. I'll be honest. Everybody was like, Debs, oh my gosh, can you come here? Can you come here? Come here, come here. Like, in August alone, I think I had like 5 gigs. And that was just because I was just like really bold with it. Any kind of event, and I say any kind of event, obviously certain events were definitely tailored better for me. And I only had to figure that out from literally process of elimination. But from my own point of view, delusion has helped me in a way to be bold and trust in my ability to produce excellent work as a presenter. It's helped me even more so because now it's just second nature. Context, I DM'd As You Are, shout out IR. I might put a picture here. For those that are listening, go to YouTube, watch this part. But I'll put a picture right here. So because of Delulu Week and the training that I did in private and being able to, like, what you guys are seeing are the fruits of things that have happened in private. Like, of me doing things for free, me helping people for free, me hosting stuff for free, being like all of that, to the picture that you see here, which is me interviewing Lola Brooks last month. That is mental. Don't play with it. Don't play with it. I just want to rock that. You just want to see me automatic. Are you dumb? I sat with sister. I sat with her. We looked at each other. We hugged each other. We talked. We laughed, giggled, ching, teeth out, everything. It was so much fun. And that would have never happened if I did not shoot my shot, like, and unapologetically said, hey, if you're looking for a presenter, I'm here. Okay. And without that, delusion wouldn't have helped me do one of my very first like proper DJ gigs. It wouldn't have helped me interview Lola Brooks. Like I said, it wouldn't have helped me work in the environment that I work in. There's a lot that Delulu Week has kind of trained my anxiety to piss off. Like, it's really just said, hey, anytime you feel anxious, okay, okay, accept the fact that you're feeling anxious right now, but walk through that anxiety, like if you can. But that's just me. And second thing as well, that delusion has helped me realize is, and it's similar to Kojo, the guy on TikTok that talks about F the numbers. Guys, we don't know if tomorrow is promised. We really don't know if tomorrow is promised. We don't know if like we have the opportunity to choose again tomorrow. And when that hit me, just because of how many people had passed away in 2025 for me, I was just like, things need to shift. Things need to move. Things need to move. Things need to move. And I'm of the opinion that literally faith without works is really dead. Like, you are wasting your time if you're out here like, oh my God, God will do it. God will do it for me. God, He will do it for me. But you have never held a mic. You have never did vocal training. You have never listened to podcasts and studied the art. You have never done your due diligence, which is to study the craft and be masters of your craft in whatever capacity. You have not done your hours in private, because your fruit, like, you know, when scriptures talk about you will know them by their fruit, I promise you, your fruit is smelly. Your fruit is smelly because you have not studied and grinded in private. And that's not to say stay there. That is to say, when you get to a point in which somebody's offering you an opportunity, or God gives you a chance to show that craft, whilst it might not be the best, the whole point is to fine tune your craft. It's like chiseling at something. And that's what's helped with my presenting. The presenting now, guys, I could do a festival tomorrow. 110%. I could do Royal Albert Hall tomorrow. I could do Big Church Fest tomorrow. And that is not to boast. That is just to hold, like, that is a matter of fact, because I have done festivals before. I have done concerts before. And I think that's what delusion has helped. It's just helped my confidence. It's just helped me really just be like, why not? Like, what is the worst that can happen? Like, the worst that can happen is someone saying, not right now, or you're not a good fit, or right. Okay, cool. But I am still very much DC. I'm still very much this woman who like is getting there, and I'm still learning. I think that's what's really cool. I'm still learning, like, and I'm still, there are going to be gigs that I flop, and I have flopped. There are going to be gigs that I don't feel my best, and there are going to be times where Delulu is just a concept and a theory, and in actualization or in practice, it's just not working. It doesn't work, and that's okay. That's okay. That's okay. And I'm telling myself this in the past, so I can look back and be like, yeah, you've worked really hard, and yeah, God has come through. But how about in the times when He doesn't? And how about in the times when He's actually like, no, there's nothing going to come, because I need you to depend on me. And that has been a very interesting period that the Lulu has allowed me to embrace more softly and way better, because like in the moments now where things don't go my way, or I've been trying, or I've been putting myself out there and nothing is moving, that is the time in which now I've basically been really, really broken and thought, now I have to, there's no other option but to depend on the one who provides those opportunities. Now I can't feel like it comes from my own strength. And there was a sense of pride, if I'm being very honest, from me, that, oh, because I am really good at a lot of things, I will get the gigs. But yeah, there was a season where God humbled me and I didn't get anything. I didn't get a lot. No, I didn't get, or what was being provided was just chicken change, man. Chicken change. So yeah, we're here now, and I would employ all of you to do Delulu Week. That's my encouragement. I would employ you all to pick a day where you're literally like, you know what, normal DC would have a lion, but the DC that I want to become wakes up at 8 o'clock in the morning. Like, please, I'm not the 6 a.m., 5 a.m. Everyone calm down. Yeah. The woman that I want to become wakes up at 8:30 in the morning and actually has a slower morning, because the slower morning allows her to really just embrace the day better rather than rushing into the day. Or, you know, the DC I want to become allows herself to what's it called, have an evening to herself, and allows herself to go on solo dates and have solo dinners and explore all these places without having to wait for people. Like, that is okay. And that is what I'm learning this season. Which is really, really cool, you know. But as we move on, the next segment of this show, or this podcast show, at this rate, the next segment of this show, because we'll figure out whether it's a show or a podcast or both, or it doesn't really matter. You're here anyway and you're vibing out to me, innit? You get only me and you, only me and you. There's a camera. Yeah. Okay. The next part of this show is called Conteh'S curriculum. Now, guys, one day, and I'm saying this on here, I want to make my own card game. I've been designing the card game for a minute. I really want to do a We're Not Really Strangers, the gist. Mama Dunya literally just had a card game that she released as well. I really want one with Conteh'S Corner. And I'm doing Conteh'S curriculum as kind of like a question get to know. When I have guests, hopefully we'll ask these questions. And today's question is, who was the last person that made you smile? And honestly, shout out Blessing, but the last person that really made me smile was Blessing, the poet. If you haven't heard of her, that's crazy. Don't make no sense. But she did a workshop today at my workplace, a poetry workshop, and what was really cool was the men or the students that I work with just being so enamored by her presence. So like, and like, just so like, wow, like she sings and she writes poetry and she does this and she does that. And I think them being able to see another Black woman really hone her craft and do it so excellently was so wonderful to see. I saw a lot of glimmer, I saw a spark back. One of the students was like, "Miss, you've changed my life. Like, I never considered music and poetry to be a thing, and now I really want to do this. Like, I've not, like, now I really want to do this long term." And that made me smile, because deep down I was like, oh, because of the excellence of her craft, that has now encouraged one to be themselves fully, like, and embrace the purpose in which God has given them, which is really beautiful. It's so beautiful to see. It's like little fires in the room, like literally, it's just, oh. So that made me smile a lot. And also shout out Mel from Young Vic. Melanie, I love you, Melanie. Young Vic is an organization that I will continue to bellow scream about. That team that they have, shout out Aaliyah, shout out Mel, just everyone on that team. Honestly, you guys are so amazing, because your heart posture is to care for people, and it beams through. And she literally just called me, and we're talking about like a show and stuff like that, and she was just like, yeah, we need to catch up. And she's one of the few, I have to be honest, she's one of the few white people that I'm like, yeah, you are someone that I wish I had met early in my life, because you just bring such a light to the space that, and you dispel any kind of thoughts that we may have about a particular people or particular behavior or particular type of person. Like, you just shine so much. Those two people today shone so much in their little interactions with people. And I think that's one thing that people that made me smile this week. So shout out Mel, shout out Blessing, shout out everyone else, but you two really, really were a highlight today. And last but not least, it's 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 Conteh'S collection of songs. I need to, it's a bit flat. Last night was a bit flat. Why? Obviously, this is the final section of the pod where we talk about music, because I really want Spotify to sponsor me. Spotify, hey. Spotify. I really want you guys to sponsor me. Oh, I want to do an advert, like the way how Kimberly did an advert, the way how Erica did an advert. Oh, cold. Those are our girlies. But this week's songs, okay? And if you've got songs to put on the playlist, let me know. I'll think about it and maybe never get back to you. Okay. But for songs this week, I have Baby I by Aleeson. Okay. I will put it down. So song. I don't know what to do. What? Baby. Da, 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 do. Yeah. As a DJ, love it. Love it, love it, love it. And obviously, have to make an Olivia Dean nomination. That would be disingenuous of me if I were to do that. The one and only man that I need. Come be the man I need. Tell me again something that you I want it. Hello. What a beautiful album. The Art of Loving by Olivia Dean. Oh, guys, we can have a whole episode on that. Like I can have a separate episode on that album alone. I can have it. Why not? Why not? Maybe I'll do a music episode. But then I'll be counting on other people singing. I don't want to be doing that. But yeah, man, those are the two songs that I will suggest. But as always, guys, thank you so much for listening to another episode of Conteh'S Corner. If you are still new here and you are at the point where you're like, actually, this babe has a bit of flair, a bit of pizzazz to her. I want to subscribe. Now, there's a beautiful red button. If you're on YouTube, it will say subscribe. I need you to click it so it's grey. Okay, so then you know the next time to come on this page. Cool. Yeah. For those that are obviously my regular cool kids, you already know the vibe. We'll be here back again next week with another short and sharp episode. It's coming to the point where I will slowly bring in guests. Ah, scary. But no, overall, I'm so grateful. Thank you guys so much for listening. For those that are actually listening on listening platforms like Spotify, why haven't you given it 5 stars? It's a bit weird now. Okay, so I'm not gonna beg, I'm not gonna, whatever. What I am gonna ask is, if you're a cool kid, you would have given 5 stars already, so don't be any up. Okay, love you guys loads. Mwah!